Today I'm looking at an LG. This I guess about a 49-inch smart TV, 2000 and what year is this in? 2014, I think, something like that. It's about 9 years old, and it's dead. Well, it's not dead. Definitely not dead. It's got a flashing picture. So we know what this is going to be. This one's going to definitely be backlights, but are we going to fix this? Let's find out. You want to take a gander at what the problem with this LG is? Come on, you can say it. It's a backlight problem. Let's see if we can get this one working without putting any parts into it. First things first, we need to remove the back cover. And before you go on about backlights not being that expensive, there's one that I'm waiting for a backlight assembly, a Samsung. I tried to talk the guy out of fixing it, but he wants to fix the set. So we found a set of backlights, about 90 bucks. Then there's $30 in shipping, that's US dollars, so that brings it up to 120 US dollars. And now I've been informed because they won't ship it by post, and they won't ship it to my US PO box because they will only ship to the address that's registered to either my PayPal or my credit card, there's going to be another $50 in broker charges. So the guy's going to be at $200 for parts, plus I got to charge him the labor on it. When the parts finally get here, he left me a $50 deposit on it. By the time the parts actually get here, I probably won't get paid for it. He'll probably say it's too expensive because now there's extra broker charges that have been added, because even though I requested that they ship it by post, the pricks at the company, and I'm not going to say who they are, but it's got Jimmy in the name, they wouldn't ship it by post. I said, can you ship this by post? And they shipped it by FedEx, even though I specifically told them not to. And incidentally, I did contact them after I got notice from FedEx that they were going to charge me broker charges. I said, I asked you to ship this by post. And the reply back I got from them was, we can ship boards by post, but we can't ship backlights. They have to go by FedEx. Would have been nice to have known that before they shipped them out. Once the screws are removed, the back cover lifts off fairly easily, just like that. Okay, now I need to remove the controls because I need to get to the T-Con edge connectors. So I'll remove the controls. I'm going to leave the speakers in place. I don't think they need to come out on this one. I should lift this out and I'll just unplug from the main board. Looks like the speakers do need to come out, as I have to take out these metal covers. So we'll just unplug the speakers and get them out of the way. These come off by just popping the catches out here. Okay, now we can very carefully release the tabs so that I can turn the screen over, remove the bezel, and lift the screen off. This is the most critical part, is getting these tabs out of here without damaging them. If you damage these tabs along here, then the screen itself is shot. Okay, that one's loose. I have disconnected them here, by the way. We just lift them up ever so slightly, so we can lift them up and over. Alright, the tabs are loose. I'm going to flip the panel over now and have these hanging off the front so I can remove the bezel and then get the screen out of here. After removing the screws around the edge of the bezel, the metal bezel will lift off. Should lift off just like that. Got all the screws out all the way around it, so that's the bezel out of the way. We'll get that in a safe place for now. Now I have to carefully lift the screen out. This is where suction cups can sometimes come in a little bit handy. But you can very carefully get your fingers under the screen here. Make sure that these tabs are completely free and they're not going to catch on anything. Get your fingers under. Make sure that your tabs are free so you can lift the screen up and get your hand underneath it and lift the screen out of the way and put it in a safe place. Okay, now that most critical part is done, I can now disassemble the rest of the frame to get the diffuser out. And this should just, I think this just clips off this one. Just plastic clips along the edge. We'll lift this off. Now I can remove the diffuser, which is just 2 sheets on this one. Throw that out of the way. Here are our lights. Got to take off this reflective sheet as well. This is a 2014 TV, it's not very old. But we'll get all these clips out so that I can get the diffuser off, and then you can look at the set and see what the hell's wrong, which LEDs are out. These other spacers come off by just pushing a little tab and sliding them over. So just pop them over like that. Just like that. And the lenses are falling off this set, just like Samsung's. Wonderful. Aside from a bunch of lenses falling off that are going to have to be re-glued back down, the reflector will lift out of place. Let's apply power to the panel and see which ones are actually lighting up now. None of them in the top section are lighting up at all. We got a bunch of shorter ones in here and some that are, well, all the ones that are lighting up here obviously aren't shorted, but the ones that are dead, these ones are obviously internally shorted. So this may be a lost cause, this panel. Just the sheer number of LEDs that are popped on here is going to keep this power supply going into a shutdown mode. Got an open one somewhere in the top string. We got a bunch of shorter ones on here. Let's just mark the ones off here that are dead. 8 out of 18 are shorted. So there's 10 that work. And that's just too many. We had 9 that were okay. The light strip probably wouldn't be blinking. On this other side, I don't know, because obviously one of them has gone open, so we'll see which one's gone open on there, just for shits and giggles. But I can say right now that this panel here is not going to be repaired, unfortunately. It's my panel. It was given to me, so it's not like I can give someone a quote and say this is what it's going to cost to fix it. I know what it's going to cost to fix it. The light strips themselves will be $100 minimum to get them shipped to here, because I'm not going to order something from AliExpress and wait 6 months to get it. But I wouldn't put the money into this. This is going to be a recycled panel, unfortunately. This is just the way they go, but we'll troubleshoot it and see which ones are shot on the other one. Let me just get my probes in there. We'll measure and see which LEDs will actually light and which ones won't. I can't light these up by giving them voltage. When I measure the voltage here, I can see the voltage going on and off, like on the actual LED itself. I can see voltage pulsing on and off right on the edge of the LED, but when I apply power, I've got 3 volts here. Nothing lights up. None of them are lighting. Well, I removed one. Actually, I removed a couple. As you can see, there's three terminals down there. This one here just appears to be a heat sink, right? But there's a positive and negative terminal, but when I apply power to either side of those, the LED does not light. And none of them light. None of them light up. You know, this stuff is just crap. This is just junk. I mean, crap. This absolute crap. That's where this is going, in the bin. This one here, just, you know, I have to change all the strips on this. I wonder if they take more volts than 3 volts. I'll turn my power supply up to 5 volts and see if they light up. Oh, okay, so it takes 5 volts just to barely light them. Well, that's a little more like it. So what we've got here is each of these have got 2 LEDs in series. They take 6 volts to light these ones up. Okay, well, maybe for shits and giggles, I'll find the one that's open. Give it 6 volts to see if they're brighter. That's a bit more like it. So 6 volt LEDs. So for shits and giggles, tested them all to see which ones are any good. All the ones with an X are bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 18 is bad on the top strip. And what was it, 8 or 9 out of 18? Half of them anyway on the bottom strip. That is what's wrong with this set. To fix it would require the complete strips replaced. That's not something I'm going to bother with just because of the cost involved to get it. I know that some of you are going to squawk and say, oh, I can get it for this. Well, that's nice, but I don't want to put any money into an old set like this. Piece of shit like this. LG, life's garbage, right? But that's the only way to fix it, would be to replace them all, and that's not going to happen. If it was 1 or 2 of them that had gone open and I could have just bridged them out and had a working panel like I've done on so many others, then I would have done that, because I've got sets around here that I use for things like monitoring my security cameras and so forth that work just fine, and they've been working for a long time with 1 or 2. One of them even has 3 LEDs that are bad, but with 3 out, you don't even notice it on the screen. But that's that. I guess that's all I can do on this one. Throw it together and send it to recycling is about all I can do. So looking at this, with each of these LEDs requiring 6 volts with 18 in them in each strip, 36 of them in total, that would be 96 volts from the power supply feeding the LEDs. Each of these must have 2 LEDs in series, and when I removed it from the board itself, it kind of, maybe that's why there's 3 terminals on the bottom, right? There's 3 terminals on the bottom of the LED. One's probably a common point to, you know, between one and the other, one junction and the other, but I'm sure that these each have 2 diodes in series, obviously, to require 6 volts. Anyway, what can I say? It's garbage. That's like all these new sets. They're not designed to last. With the lenses that fall off by looking at them, and the LEDs that are failed, it's no wonder no one's in business fixing TVs anymore, because this is just crap, right? If you're fixing your own and you can get the strips for, you know, $60 or $70, then that might be one way to go. But there's certainly no money in fixing these things, although I do have one that I'm waiting for LEDs, and they'll be here next week. But when they arrive, with all the shipping charges and the broker charges and the taxes and everything on it, the guy's going to be almost to the price of a new TV by the time it's done. The only reason he's wanting to fix it is because it's a 3D set, and you can't get 3D sets anymore. I guess he's got some Blu-rays in 3D that he wants to watch. That's probably the only reason why he wants to fix it anyway. I'm going to throw this one together and send it off for recycling. Wasting enough time on this today. I think probably what I'll do with this set is the same that I did with the last couple of sets that I got rid of. I just put them up on Facebook. Free TV, backlights are bad, parts set, and let someone take it away that might want to invest the money and time and fix it themselves. Because I got the whole set. It's got the remote and the stand and everything. So that might be the solution. Is I'll just put it up, offer it for free, and if it doesn't go within like a day or two, then I'll send it to the recycling place. Because for someone, they could get a set like this. We know the set works. We know that the backlight's gone. If I turn it on, we'll see the LG logo and everything will pop up on the front, on the screen. So we know the screen works. So maybe I'll do that. I'll just throw it up for free, and if someone wants it, they can take it off my hands. And otherwise, off to recycling it goes. As we can see, flashlight test. It's same as it was before. It's not flashing anymore because I took out one of the bad LEDs on there that was providing the short on the bottom circuit that was providing a completed circuit. So it's no longer blinking. It just needs new backlight. So I'll put it up for free, and I'm sure someone will take it off my hands. Anyway, thanks for watching.